Hello, my name is Rohit Rohila, and welcome to my channel. A little bit about myself. I love the world of personal development, and it started back in elementary school when I started reading books on just leadership, and went on to high school where I was president of the school and just loved all things leadership. And then in college, was in a lot of clubs and started researching, personal development, personal growth. Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, listening to all those authors, reading their books, just had such a huge influence on me. And I attended my first personal development seminar. And afterwards, I had a friend ask me, she actually ran a coffee shop, and she asked me, can you kind of teach some personal development stuff to my crew? And I was like, are you sure you want me? And that was my first real gig. And since then, life has been just amazing. The largest group I've spoken to is 16,000. I wrote a book a few years ago called I'll Do It Tomorrow Ends Today, which is all about procrastination, which is something that unfortunately I know quite a bit about. And so I knew I always wanted to write a book. And so during the pandemic, when everyone was kind of binge watching TV, I didn't want to look back and say, at a time when the entire world shut down, all I did was watch television. Instead, I did something. And so that was a huge moment in my life, huge accomplishment. And since then, like I mentioned, just everything personal development related. So I love going to different bookstores, especially those small, unique bookstores that just have a ton of different books. I mentioned some of the authors I like to read. Some of the books I like to share are, like Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. Again, another huge influence in my life. And so, what can you expect here, right? Because we all need to know, if we're going to invest our time in something, then what are we going to gain from it? And so, not only do I love personal development, but I also practice it. I do one-on-one coaching. I do group corporate training events. I do large-scale seminars. Podcasts are it's a tool that I love. I first started podcasting in 2015 and have just always it's been a part of my life. So even right now, I've got microphones everywhere, and it's just something I love doing. It's a huge passion of mine. The GYST podcast, which stands for Get Your Sh Together, name was not my idea, but it's been going on now for over 10 years. And I do that one. Right now I've got the Good Morning Shift, which is comes out 3 times a week. It's a personal development type of podcast where I share a positive quote. I explain the quote a little bit, and I come up with a daily action item. So that's a great one to check out. If you're just looking for something short and quick, it's usually about 2 to 3 minutes every morning. 3 times a week. And then if you're looking for a deeper dive, I have another podcast that comes out weekly called The Shift from Within. And that is a 30-minute episode that truly brings forth, who are you? Who are you trying to be? Who are you trying to become? And how do we get you there? How do we become partners to help you become the best version of you? And all these things are just so impactful. And one of the things that I really like talking about, because a lot of people ask me, where do I get my information from? And sure, there's a lot of the more pronounced names out there that you've heard of in the world of personal development and self-help and personal growth. But strangely enough, I get most of my ideas from children's books, right? Not talking about Harry Potter, but, you know, the hard books that you read as a kid in elementary school. Those ones offer simple solutions, simple things like sharing and how to be friendly with each other. And I know it sounds crazy because, you know, everyone's reading these 800 page books, and I'm reading picture books, but the lessons are real. And I think when it comes to personal development, that's really the key, is just understanding. Always be curious. Always be a student in life. The moment you stop listening, the moment you stop looking for lessons everywhere, is the moment you stop growing. So that's a little bit about who I am. And again, welcome. This is a huge passion of mine. And if I can help you become the best version of you that's possible, that's a win in my books. So with that, thank you.